I would like to bring on our very special guest today that we are so stoked to have. Ladies and gentlemen, the Chrono Ranger of Power Rangers Unworthy, Logan Raposo. We need an applause button. We'll get one eventually when we have a tighter budget.
We'll do the manual applause in the meantime.
Thank you so much.
You guys, I'm 6'4".
He's a tall boy, let me tell you.
I am a very tall boy.
So before I get into, Power Rangers Unworthy, because obviously we want you to, promote it and talk about it. Do you have any thoughts on anything that I just talked about with the state of the franchise? Feel free to push back,
no
please.
Worries. I did like what you say, and I do agree with all your points. I feel like Power Rangers has kind of been stagnant as of late. I feel like it's at the point because most of the fandom now is 20s, 30s, and I understand that there always is an audience for the kids and everything, and there obviously should be and everything, but there should be at some point some form of a spinoff, some form of a newer, darker CW type of series with them, you know what I mean? A new movie, something of that nature.
If the primary audience is kids, why is there never any promotion on the kids' networks to tell people to watch this show?
Yeah.
The promotion is almost next to none.
Yeah.
For what, even with Beast Morphers, you only saw the commercials for Power Rangers, literally the Saturday mornings or maybe like a little bit afterwards, but there's almost next to no promotion on watching the show. And then they wonder, why are the numbers so low on this season?
They're record lows. Compared to where, with Nickelodeon, where Samurai was doing like a 3.0 on their debut episodes, and like now it's at 0.3. That's a tenth of your, that's 90% of your audience gone.
I would not be surprised, and all of this is stuff that we kind of mentioned before, I'm just sharing with the audience here. I would not be surprised if when Saban sold the rights of Power Rangers to Hasbro, they worked, before Hasbro got the toy rights, and before they wound up eventually taking the franchise as a whole, Saban, it felt like, did Nickelodeon a solid of we'll give you the show till 2023. That's the contract, which is when Power Rangers Dino Fury, actually, no, because Power Rangers, it's 2021 now. Power Rangers Dino Fury ends in 2022. The contract for 2023 is still up in the air unless it ends on January 1st. I don't know. But my point is, it feels like, did Nickelodeon even want the show from the get-go? What's the point of buying the show if you're not going to promote it?
I don't know who exactly was. I know Hasbro definitely has monopolized a lot of the toys and everything. So, and I don't know if maybe they kind of just didn't see Power Rangers in the same light, say, as like Nerf or like the toy truck companies that they have and everything. So I don't know if maybe it's that. With Nickelodeon, I don't know where their head's been at really with their shows. In general, I feel like Nickelodeon is definitely tanking a bit, and just in general.
Yeah, so, quality certainly. Some shows are okay, but overall, it feels
a lot of our shows grew up with our ending. You know what I mean? At that point, it's like, what's really left? Cartoon Network at least always brought in new shows to try to keep the flow going.
Yeah, Quantum Town. That's okay.
Crossover actually just said in the chat a little earlier, to be fair with the episode thing, Nickelodeon in general is kind of bad when it comes to knowing when something airs. Just ask Legend of Korra.
Yes.
Oh, God, I love Legend of Korra.
Because they blew that one.
they screwed that one up.
It's, I don't know, just if you have a show, either promote it or sell it off.
Yeah.
And I feel like it would make the most sense for Paramount Plus, honestly, to have Power Rangers, considering that it's currently there. They've been sprucing up their stuff. Changing their stuff from CBS All Access to Paramount Plus has been very good for Viacom, kind of cleaning up. This is all of your Viacom content, as opposed to the title of being CBS and having it be separate, and also having the Nickelodeon stuff in a separate spot. So it's been good for cleaning up. Now, I think Netflix would be the perfect choice, honestly, just because Hasbro already has a relationship with Netflix and Transformers. But it would just be, where do you think that Power Rangers should have a streaming home, is my next question, after already having one for nearly 10 years?
Absolutely, because I feel like it's very difficult, I'm sure, as you know, to see past episodes and stuff and everything. I have to daily motion RPM if I want to watch that. So I definitely feel like they should have their own streaming service and thing. Maybe Netflix would work. Hulu.
Netflix did work.
I know, but it would definitely work in general. And there goes another one down.
Who died? That's okay.
It was a villain. Don't worry.
Yeah, Celltrax can stay down there.
Celltrax is fine. There's just so much it's just missed opportunities. That's the biggest thing for me with Power Rangers, is you have a fandom, and I've said this to my past agent, the reason why I want to be a Power Ranger, like on Nickelodeon, on Netflix or whatever, is because it's a forever role. You can come back. You watch Power Rangers, and how much work has JDF gotten? You know what I mean? He's literally still doing action roles and everything. He's still the Green Ranger. He's still the White Ranger. He's the Black Ranger. He's the Red Ranger. He's the Legend of the White Dragon. He's everything. You know what I mean?
everywhere.
He's everywhere. But there's so much that comes from it. You know, like the toy sales, the Comic-Cons, conventions. You know what I mean? Like, it's just such a vast. It's so vast in general. I forget the word, but there's so much to do with it. There's so much money to be made from this that it's almost like you said, Marvel was such a great point. Marvel has such a good plan. Power Rangers has no plan at all.
And obviously, you know, they're two vastly different, like, you know, properties as far as popularity. Like, ultimately, people see this as a kid's show.
Yeah.
You know, but to be fair, people saw Marvel and DC stuff as kid stuff for a long time until they started dominating pop culture.
Yep.
You know, so I feel like that matters. As much as I hear that it's been very good economy work for New Zealand, as far as actors and as far as people working on set, I do kind of wish that Power Rangers never left LA, because I have. Now, granted, the Disney stuff, production-wise, looking back on it after streaming it very recently on Netflix, actually really solid stuff.
Oh, yeah.
When Saban took it, felt like the production quality went down. And with Hasbro, it did feel like the production quality has gone up. I haven't seen any of the latest season, unfortunately. I tried to watch it before this, but ZenFest getting pushed back, that didn't help my streaming schedule. But I want the show to not feel as cheap. And I understand the show's notorious for being cheap, but also, you know, music choices help with that. Locations help with that. Hasbro hasn't been an improvement on Saban's previous work. But what do you think of the latest, from what you've seen, from what you recall, the latest iteration of Power Rangers? And I'm not sure if you've seen any of Beast Morphers necessarily.
I watched a little bit of Beast Morphers. It definitely fell off a little bit for me. I will say this, just because you mentioned the point about music. Ron Wasserman cannot be touched and will never be touched.
No question. For those that don't know, he's the guy that did Go-Go Power Rangers, what you all know as the
He
iconic.
did up to.
Which
We did a whole bunch of stuff too.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which
And,
we also based our theme entirely on. I don't know if you
I
noticed.
forget his name. Oh, goodness. Jeremy something. He composed the pre-Zordon, post-Zordon era up until Disney. I think he did great. I think Jeremy Courtney, was his name, did phenomenal as well.
Yeah, great score.
Score is a big part of Power Rangers for me, and I feel like that definitely has been lost, I feel like, as time has gone on. Like, I mean, some elements are cool. Definitely, like Wild Force had like the little mystical, like flute and everything and all that. Mystic Force did good because they brought Ron back.
They did, and then they cut him out with the rap. But the SPD did use him, and the SPD song is fire.
Oh yeah.
Crap. Oh, so with I was gonna say I forgot what I was gonna talk about, but I do recommend Beast Morphers in terms of story because I don't know if you know a lot about the season.
I do. Yeah, I've read synopses about it and everything.
So
and I do like it.
Do you know what happens at the end?
Yeah.
Okay. Worthwhile fun in that regard. But I will say the theme song is a bit not even so much lacking. I understand that theme songs are kind of going away in general, but such a big part of Power Rangers has been the theme song, and it's like the song is at the bottom because it's only 20 seconds.
Yeah.
It
doesn't really get me pumped up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Even the latest one too. I listened to that. Like, oh, is it better? No, it's kind of the same. Cheap.
Yeah, they go. Power Rangers, like you mentioned before, are notoriously a bit of a, especially like Nickelodeon's Power Rangers have been a very notoriously cheaper production. You know what I mean? And that's always kind of like, it's like you have the money. Like, we know you do.
You do. You have some money. You don't need to make all of your profit off of the toy, like the ratio as far as like how much we don't spend on the show is how much more we can make from the toy sales. You don't have to do that, you know. You can pick and choose. Let me ask you this. Yes. Where did you get, what's your beginning of your love for Power Rangers? Where did it begin for you, from what you can remember?
Countdown to Destruction was my first episode I ever watched. And then I fell into love with Lost Galaxy. But I ended up getting VHSs from Savers. So I basically like recollected Mighty Morphin. I didn't really, Zeo I watched a little bit of, Turbo I kind of avoided, I'll be honest. In Space loved.
Totally fair.
But, I know. I love TJ. TJ was the best part about it, but Justin just, I didn't like Dustin. I couldn't do it. I was just like, why does he grow big? I'm like,
Science rules. So you said that the season finale, what almost was the series finale, Power Rangers.
Yep.
That's what brought you into the franchise. Do you have a favorite season, or like a top 3, if you will, of seasons overall? There's 27. There's 27 to pick from, and you can merge some seasons together if they were split into 2 parts.
I'll pick Lost Galaxy for number 1. It was my first, and I definitely loved the story. It was very dark. Which I
High
think
production value.
Yes.
Considering that they rushed that thing out, the show ended in November, and they realized, oh, people actually still like the show, so we need to have this show ready for February, and so they had like literally a month to put it all together. Kind of nuts, and kind of
such a great job.
The first 2 episodes are fire.
I think a lot of the episodes were really good. A lot of even like filler episodes were just good in general. You know what I mean? And they didn't get as much character development as other seasons, but I mean. Leo and Mike are two of my favorites of all time. Love Damon, love Kai, love Maya and Kendricks. They were two of my. Kendricks died. I felt so sad, but I understand growing up.
No, of course,
she had to leave. Number 2 actually for me is RPM.
Great choice.
I love character development, and I love when all the characters get developed. And considering that they only had 32 episodes, and each character got a solo episode. Each character got like little development too later on.
They had 32 episodes, and their showrunner was fired midway through because he went too over budget.
Yep.
So, like, by the 23rd episode out of 32, they had to wrap up this whole thing.
I just think, like, RPM was meant to be, like, the end. I know it was the end for, like, kind of, like, a bit, but
no, that's what they were told. They were told that because they had to fulfill the toy contract to Bandai.
Yep.
They no matter what, Disney couldn't get out of it. So it's like, all right, let's just do it.
And I just think, like, I love darker seasons personally, and with RPM, like, it just starts out dark. It starts out like an apocalypse, and there's death, there's loss, there's everything. I mean, like, I think, like, 4 or 5 people died almost, like, within, like, a 30-episode span. I'm like, that's pretty high considering.
And you know who all these characters are. You know, very early on. There's no confusion. There's nothing lackluster. It's very well built as a season. I didn't actually get to watch that season growing up when it was on because it was and I mentioned this last summer when I did my ranked review. RPM premiered on like offshoot channels of ABC Kids. So if our ABC here is channel 5, you would have needed channel 5.2 in order to watch Power Rangers on Saturday mornings. You needed a specific frequency in order to watch it, unless you lived in Los Angeles or New York or Dallas, Texas, like any of these big cities. Almost nobody watched it in the overall fandom, but that's what's been so great about Netflix.
I do remember that actually, and I unlocked a memory in my brain. I'm like, oh my god,
I was ready to watch it at noon. Like, here we go, more Power Rangers, and I got some dumb wildlife thingy. I'm spicy, but yeah.
Oh man, a third. Oh man, I would love to just do a tie between Lightspeed, Time Force, and Wild Force because they all just made such a big impact on my life.
So the Neo Saban.
Neo Saban just really did it.
Not
for
Neo
me.
Saban. I'm sorry. Post Zordon. Post Zordon. That's what it is. Yeah,
before Disney came in and everything. Those 3 really made a big impact on my life. I just loved. Like, I mean, Lightspeed was like my first real season that I was conscious of, and I remember getting the toy trains and McDonald's and everything. I had all of them. Time Force, love to death. I mean, obviously, I'm a Time Force Ranger in Power Rangers Unworthy. Wild Force, underrated, not really appreciated as much.
So much better than I remember.
So much.
Master Org. I wouldn't mess with Master Org.
Zenaku, you know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of that stuff. Those production values were truly at their highest post Zordon. I think because maybe Saban realized, we really can make money. Off of this. After the series
100%.
canceling and stuff, like everything just it felt better. Like just overall, even their finales too. Everything was very larger than life. And not to say that Disney didn't necessarily do a bad job either. Looking back on it now, Disney was actually pretty good. We just didn't realize how we were kind of taking it for granted in that regard. But looking back, Disney did a lot of things really well.
Disney had one finale that always, like, I wouldn't say I'm against it, but I was so torn on it for a bit. I like it now, was SPD. Because Kruger versus, oh my God, I forgot what's his
Grum?
Grum, yes. And it just felt odd to me because I was just like, he's on Morph and he's just having a fun. I mean, I get it because there's so much history between them, and I was like, all right, this makes sense, you know what I mean? But I just kind of wish like it was on the ship Like that would have been cool. Like the ship, I know the ship like basically gets destroyed, and just like, what if they were just fighting there until like it goes down? Then he comes back, kind of like Leo in Lost Galaxy. I thought that would have been cooler. But I mean, I liked it after a while. I'm like, all right, it's cool. You know what I mean? Like, oh, now you match.
Growing up, a lot of the Disney seasons when they were on, you're only a year older than me. We would have been in middle school, and like that was when Power Rangers was considered like kid stuff. Like you can't like that, like Power Rangers for babies, that kind of a thing. And I wasn't sure how to feel about it too because I had my nostalgia and what I loved from the post Zordon stuff. What happened from 1999 to 2002, and looking back on it now. A lot of it was actually good. And middle school, when kids are telling you what to do and what to think, you don't really get to think straight and think for yourself. And man, we were spoiled with the Disney stuff. The Disney stuff was actually really good. Disney couldn't commit, but what they had on for staff was actually pretty solid.
I think a big thing too wasn't just the middle schoolers and everything. Obviously, that was a big factor, and that's a big lesson to anyone watching this. Always be yourself. Don't let anyone tell you what you can and can't do. But
the more you know.
I think a big thing that was a part of it too was the older fans who are older than us, who grew up with Mighty Morphin, who started from the beginning. The moment I feel like they lost Saban, they're like, okay, we already lost Zordon. Now we lost Saban. We haven't really seen. I mean, I know they brought back Tommy, so that probably definitely was a ratings pop. But prior to that, I mean, like, I feel like, because Ninja Storm was where I fell off. And Ninja Storm is not a bad season. I've watched it back.
Ninja Storm's a really great season.
It's a really great season.
It's fun.
But it's where I started to lose my interest. I guess maybe the production value looked different, and that's kind of what threw me off. I was like, this is like...
because it was in New Zealand. Yeah. Like, why? I never figured out why it looked so different either until I was much older. Like, that explains so much.
And I don't know why, but maybe back then I was growing up too. You know what I mean? I felt kind of awkward. I was like, I don't really like this. I got back into SPD a lot. Dino Thunder, towards the end. Middle end. SPD, loved SPD. But yeah. 2003
Ninja Storm, that was actually my first conscious season. I wasn't really old enough to do the Saturday morning cartoon thing, honestly. Like just mentally, like I wasn't there for it. But then when I was able to like watch ABC Family in the mornings to see the promotion for what basically when it moved from Fox Kids to ABC Family, that's when I was able to catch on to it. Like I had a routine thing to know, okay, there's new episodes on Saturday mornings and that kind of a thing. So that's how I was able to catch up.
I think I was the opposite. I think once it went to ABC, I kind of fell off for a bit because I got confused because I was a Fox Kids growing up.
Of course, I wasn't,
Fox.
So yeah.
Loved Fox Kids. Spider-Man, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and those Jalen showed on pre-internet, but love that. Love Fox Kids.
I was freaking out in 2006 when randomly one day ABC Family announced, okay, so all of our shows are going to Toon Disney, bye. I didn't have Toon Disney. I didn't have that kind of cable. So I'm trying to save my mom. Mom, how the bloody hell am I going to watch Power Rangers? Eventually we figured it out. We got Toon Disney. Everything worked out. But there was like a 3-month stint where I'm like, what? And especially when I came back into the show after getting Toon Disney, I'm watching the show like, how much have I missed? A lot went down.
Did you ever watch Jetix? Like that channel at all? That was where I watched a lot of Power Rangers too.
Once I got Toon Disney, that's where I watched a lot of
the
stuff.
Oh, man.
I miss Saturday morning cartoons. I do. So let's talk about your duties as a ranger now, Mr. Chrono Ranger. Is there anything... First of all, for those that maybe haven't watched Power Rangers Unworthy, why don't you talk a little bit about the overall show and some of the plot? Yeah.
Also, real quick, thank you, Young Coffee, for the 7th month subscription.
Let's go. Wait. Much
appreciate you.
So, Power Rangers Unworthy is basically... It's a story about basically the first Ranger ever. He's referred to as the Arbiter. Long story short, basically he gets corrupted. Basically through like as time goes on, I feel like, or something. It hasn't really been delved into yet because it'll probably later on in episodes. He basically decides that he's now the will of the morphing grid. And he wants to just eliminate all other Rangers because they're unworthy. You know, they're teenagers who have the power of gods. And I think that's a really interesting point because you give teenagers who are prepubescent, who are hormonal, have all these things as they're developing their minds, it may not be the best idea to make them...
Have child foot soldiers
basically
defending your Earth. Yeah, that sounds fair.
Teenagers with attitude, you know what I mean? So he's making his rounds. Eventually he gets to Earth 218, which is we call them the Unworthy Rangers, but they are another Mighty Morphin team in this multiverse. A little bit different. They have... Rocky, Trini, Billy, Zach now, and Kim. They had a Tommy and everything. Tommy gets killed by the Arbiter. So that was like a big turning point in the season. in episode 3. They're basically one of the last groups that are fully together to take on the Arbiter. My character is the Chrono Ranger. He is essentially a multiverse version of the Silver Time Force Ranger who has a robot arm, essentially. He is basically someone who escaped the Arbiter, has been hunting him for years. I don't know how, a lot of trauma for this this young man. He's older than me, I'm saying, probably, but his mission is to stop the Arbiter at all costs. And in episode 3, he basically saves the Unworthy, I call them Unworthy, or 218's Rangers, and that he wants basically to get them together to take on Arbiter and see if we can end this completely.
Cool.
Yeah.
And there's actually quite a few cameos in there as well from various fans of Power Rangers to showcase the multiverse and what's possible in Power Rangers. And a lot of them took out their costumes. And these guys, now, did these guys go, the Unworthy production team, did they basically fly out and go to wherever these people were, or were a lot of them close enough in proximity?
So what was interesting about that was some people flied to us, I believe, but some people also just filmed on their own and basically would send the videos to the director, Jordan, who is also the Blue Ranger in Power Rangers Unworthy, and they basically would combine them together. Some Rangers were pretty local from like the New York, New Jersey area that were fighting with the Arbiter in particular. So we really appreciate their help and everything because...
And did you guys primarily film in the New York, New Jersey?
Yes.
Cool.
For the most part.
Cool.
I don't think... Yeah, they didn't come to Connecticut at any points. Yeah, it was New York, New Jersey.
Cool.
Yeah, it was really nice. It's definitely, like... It's so interesting is the fact that it is an indie series, but the production alone, the costumes, it going all out completely, you know what I mean? Locations, everything, like... It's so, like, I've told him straight up, it's like, this is, you may be indie, but it's like, this is, like, the top. Like, this is right below, like, a Netflix quality series, you know what I mean? Which I think a lot of fans want. A lot of fans want that, like, adult, gritty, dark feeling.
Just a true sense of care.
Yeah.
You know, that's, at least for me, that's what I'm looking for. Like, just a sense of, we really like this franchise, and we see different ways that it can go, and we care about the material that's in front of us.
Right.
Like, there's no reason why Tommy couldn't, you know, lead in the way that Iron Man does, or rather Captain America does in Endgame, you know, like in something along those lines.
Right.
And I think that displays in the show that you're working on.
I really enjoyed the fact, too, that they include a lot of different elements and everything. Very diverse cast, a lot of LGBT actors and actresses. We have a lot of, like, different variety, and I do think that's been a very heartwarming thing that I've noticed by working on this production. Very LGBT-friendly, very open. Yeah. And... that's a great feeling.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So there are currently 3 episodes up on YouTube, with episode 2 split into 2 parts. I'm correct on that,
Yes,
right? Yeah.
episode
Okay.
2 is split into 2. Yep.
So we have a 4th episode on the horizon. Make sure that you follow Unworthy Productions, by the way, on their Facebook and Instagram to get all the latest on Power Rangers Unworthy and their upcoming productions as well. They actually kind of started teasing a Ninja series, I believe.
Yes, that's for the Patreons and everything. So if you subscribe to their Patreon and everything, you have access to exclusive content and everything. A little bit of spoilers as well for the shows and everything that can come out. So you'll get to see some things that we haven't yet revealed. So it's really worth your while to check out their Patreon and everything. And maybe just consider joining and everything so you can get the spoilers and get the perks.
So,
I actually linked the episode 1 right in the chat, so you can
excellent.
click
Thank you,
that
Mr.
link
Lanman.
if you want to check that out, or maybe bookmark it for later and come back and watch the rest of our show.
So, is there anything that you can talk about? Episode 4 is going to be big for you and your character. Yes. Is there anything that you can talk about at all on episode 4?
What's interesting about episode 4 is, like, in episode 3, he's talking with Pink Ranger Kim, because Kim and Tommy are dating in this series, and they are both female characters. At least Jenna is non-binary, but they are portraying a female character in this series. I am talking to Jenna, and I'm basically kind of saying, you remind me of my mentor, because my mentor is Jen, the Pink Time Force Ranger, so that little common ground there. Mentioning how I basically tell my story in about, like, 30 seconds, and it's basically, like, that's going to be the episode, in a sense. So, I mean, you're going to see Chrono Ranger's backstory. You're going to find out his name. You're going to see what he looks like. I mean, you see me now, but you'll see what I look like on the screen, unmorphed. You'll see me morph, which is really cool. You'll see me fight Arbiter as the Silver Time Force Ranger, which is cool because a fun fact for you, as Chrono Ranger, it's a little bit more difficult for me to move around in. With the robot arm, I can only do this. I can't actually get my sword out. So like in episode 3, if you watch it, you'll notice me do this to pull out my sword because I told the director, I'm like, I literally cannot reach this. I'm like, unless I like move in like this, it's gonna look kind of awkward, so.
How is it fighting in the suit, too?
Oh man, so, God.
I set you up for this one.
I know you were going to. Okay, so you want to talk, I'll start with Chrono. With Chrono Ranger, I've only done one fight scene that was against Arbiter. It was episode 3.
Right.
Pretty basic stuff, just doing like the gun blast and everything. It's hard to see. If any people have ever worn a Power Ranger helmet, it is hard to see. It's hard to see because if you don't have an anti-fogger like spray on it automatically, you're gonna be, and it fogs. So you gotta like wipe it off so you can see. Not only that, there's a fog machine there as well. So I literally just could not see at times. There was one point I threw a spinning punch on Arbiter and I just could not find him. I kept missing him. And I always remember at one point, it was just in my, I've said this a few times already. I'm sorry if anyone has watched the Power Hour live streams. I remember like, oh, I can't see him. And I'm turning around, I'm like, oh, there you are. And I just like clocked him in the chest. I was like, yeah, I got you.
1 out of 10.
1 out of 10. All right, how many more? Tape 11. Oh, God. Okay. But with Chrono Ranger, it kind of works to my advantage. I'm not really a hand-to-hand combat fighter. I'm much more in-depth with guns and swords. So with the arm, it's kind of, he can't really do much with this arm, you know what I mean? So it kind of works in my favor a little bit.
But does it still feel good to have the suit on?
Oh yeah, super cool. I mean, it doesn't really hit you until you're on set and you're like, oh, shoot. I was like, I'm actually a Power Ranger. I'm actually doing this, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you are, dude.
I remember there was one moment in episode 3, I actually had a moment where I felt time slow down and I could just hear my heartbeat. And it was a moment when I had to, the first gun blast to the Arbiter and everything. And I was like, oh man, it's like, this is nerve wracking. I'm actually doing this. But Chrono Ranger is pretty easy. I mean, Chrono Ranger is it's basically a theater actor performance, but it's very like half level, just straight arms crossed. That's all he does, you know what I mean? He's like a stiff board. He's just like, oh, idiots, you know what I mean? I gotta bring you back in. But
how have the fans been with either with you as Chrono Ranger or really of the series as a whole? Has anybody reached out to you to talk about you or the series or both?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've had a lot of people reach out to me to be on podcasts, talk to me in general. I've had people tell me that I've inspired them, I've changed their life, and I'm just like, what am I doing? I'm just
Wow.
I'm just some tall dude who does stupid videos on Instagram sometimes, you know what I mean? I'm not really like, what am I doing that's so inspiring? It's like I'm giving like $100 bills to homeless people, but it's more just like, hey guys, here's me with glasses. And then they're like, I love you. I'm like, what happened?
What are they saying that you're doing for them?
I think it might be because I keep things very real. I try to be very genuine. I talk about my struggles. I talk about my accomplishments, but I also like to definitely show that I'm human. You know, I mean, like, yeah, I'm an actor. Yeah, I've won awards. I've done this. I've done that. I don't care. You know, I mean, I'm still a human. I'm an artist, a creator. You know, so I just try to remain humble, I guess, and maybe that's that aspect that makes people like they want to like talk to me more. And I do try to talk to people. You know what I mean? There's some people are kind of like, oh, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Like us here at the Dirty Table.
Yeah,
of course. Yeah.
No, I had someone who was on the spectrum and everything, and I didn't know how to talk to them. They messaged me, and I was just like, I don't know what to say. But then they wished me happy birthday. I'm like, thanks so much. And they wished me like another message. They were like, how does it feel to do this? And I was like, I don't know if I should talk to you because I'm going to feel bad that you might not understand that I can't talk all the time. But
right.
It's definitely a humbling experience. When I've done like pictures with kids, that definitely makes me feel it because like I've done costume characters before for like princess parties and everything. I've done like the Disney princesses, Spider-Man, you know what I mean? I've done even Luigi, which is kind of weird. But
which Disney princess were you?
I was Aladdin, and they wanted me as Prince Philip. Yeah, it was a fun time.
I was hoping like Elsa. No.
Oh, no, it was a prince. What do you mean?
You said princess.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant prince.
Disney princes, not princess.
It's called a speech impediment, guys.
Oh, now I feel bad.
I'm walking off the set. I've had it.
So just before we get into our game, thank you for that, by the way. Check out Power Rangers Unworthy on YouTube now, episodes 1 through 3, episode 2 being 2 parts, episode 4. Do we have an idea of when we could possibly expect it? I understand they're hard at work working on it.
Yep, they are. They have a few more scenes to do for the VFX. I have to do ADR, so does Damali and everything. I can't give an exact date.
That's okay.
I do believe it's going to come out in 2021. I do believe that.
I think so. I think between now and possibly December, I think that might be
absolutely
a good indicator, especially, amidst the pandemic, being able to still work on this,
right.
It's really
it's definitely, it's difficult, what I mean, and everything, but I'm excited for that time.
Well, make sure that you follow this guy as well. Where can they follow you, by the way?
You can follow me on Instagram at loganraposo.com. It's LOGANRAPOSO. Just my name. You can follow me. See me being an idiot, you know what I mean? See me working out. See my cats, whatever you like,
Awesome, man.
But before we do the games, I have a gift for you, sir.
You do?
Yes.
Oh boy, I forgot. I totally forgot.
I know. I saw you. I'm like, he forgot, didn't he? All right, you gotta close your eyes.
I have to close my eyes. All right, let me
Takes off his glasses. So you really
now I really can't see.
All right, I need you to hold out your hands.
Now he's not going to be able to see it once you give it to him. He's going to be like, great, it's blurry.
It's going to be slimy?
No, why would it be slimy? You're good. You can open your eyes. It's in the hand.
Bro, what? Yo, what? Oh my God. It's a Chrono Ranger hat.
It's so clean.
Bruh.
The actual company that makes this,
sick.
literally, I don't think they make them anymore. So this is like, there's 2 in existence and it goes to me and the voice actor. So that's literally the other one. So.
Oh my God,
That's
dude! I am
amazing.
so honored and humbled. Thank you so much. Wow. This is definitely being incorporated into my performance repertoire.
Oh man.
No question. No freaking question.
Yeah.
I'm so honored. I actually had a small gift for you as well.
You can't do this to me. No, I don't. For the viewers at home, gift giving and gift receiving is not my love. Gift giving is, but gift receiving is not my love language.
Well, you're gonna have to suck it up, my guy. So I have here a flash drive.
Okay.
On here
Government secrets.
is government trade secrets.
Your entire life story.
So this is so fun fact. Before we were going on, I said I had a gift from Merrick, and he said, "Oh, what could it be?" And I said, "Oh, it's jury duty papers." This is what it is right here. I'm gonna put the flash drive in. It's gonna be you've been summoned to jury duty. Damn it! Every time.
So for those that watched our show last summer for Power Rangers Week, they know that Power Rangers Super Mega Force is a vast disappointment for most of the Power Ranger community, myself included. There are some highlights now that I've recently rewatched it, some bits, but overall, a major disappointment, especially considering the Japanese footage that's based on Kaizoku Zentai Gokaiger, which is the 35th anniversary of Super Sentai, where they're able to transform into all the different Rangers that came before. And at the time of when I watched the Gokaiger series, that was actually when Power Rangers was canceled before Saban rebought it. This was when Disney had no clue what to do with the franchise, so it was in limbo. So I figured, all right, gotta jump to Super Sentai. And if I have this to watch for the next however long, if Power Rangers is off the air, we're set. So on that flash drive is all of Kaizoku Sentai Gokaiger and every movie as well as post-show episode and short film as well.
Do you know how hard it is to find this stuff? Of course you do, because you found it. Because I was about to be like, oh man, can't wait to go find part 1 of 4, you know what I mean? Spanish subs or like...
all of it's there, the complete story of the characters, basically. It's a ton of material.
Seriously.
So, yeah.
Thank you very much.
And you said you hadn't seen any of Super Sentai, like, in its entirety, right?
Not in its entirety. I did watch Ginga Man. That was one of my favorites. I watched Zero Ranger as well. I watched the first one. But, I mean, like, Sentai was always rough for me to find, you know what I mean? Because I never really could get a chance to watch it. But, I mean, I watched clips. But...
You watch this, you'll understand why Super Mega Force was even more of a disappointment, not just on its own merits, but based on the footage that they could have used. Considering how cheap they could have been, picking and choosing what production values they wanted to shoot, as opposed to things that were already there in Japan to use, and they ignored it. That's where it gets more frustrating.
I'm going to message you at like 4 a.m. and just be like, why would you do this to me?
Do it up. Let me know how you feel after the first episode, and we'll talk.
Okay. He'll message you right back, don't worry.
I know he will. That's the crazy
So
part.
with that, I just wanted to show you just a couple of weird trinket things from the overall franchise that I have in my vast repertoire. You can't see off camera, but I actually have a...
Can you show this? Have you showed this before?
Not this. This is not the complete one.
No, I just love the fact that it's a treasure box. I was like, this man just pulls out a treasure box.
I'll move my Blizzard Force over
What
here.
type of podcast did I get on? Is this like, we gonna...
So in
Welcome
here,
to the Knights of the Dirty Table.
it's a small selection of some of the keys, the Ranger keys from, not Gokaiger, from Super Mega Force that I've gotten. These are all the translucent ones.
God.
These are all the special ones. So, like, you'll see here, I have a special Lunar Wolf Ranger whose name is Merrick, by the way, same spelling and everything.
I had no idea.
Yeah, you can't see because it's green, because we're in space and green doesn't read here. That's just how it works.
I just realized I have green writing on my thing too.
It's just
so you
black.
probably have space on
Perfect.
on your chest. But I wanted to show off this one in particular, which again you can't see because of the green screen. But this is actually a Comic-Con exclusive key. Wow. I spent $20 on it, and this is what, when they were promoting the show, this is what you would get, like if you went to the booth. And I only spent $20 on it. I hope it's worth something at some point.
Oh, it should be. Power Rangers going to shoot up. At
But
one
this
point.
is the Comic-Con exclusive Green Ranger key.
I dig it.
And then, of course, there's all the
Is
other
that unopened?
fan keys. What?
Is that unopened?
It's
like
unopened.
Sealed?
Yes, sealed, unopened. I kept it that way for a reason, but feel
Yeah.
free to look through
Super cool.
all of the...
Love SPD Blue. We got Sky Tate right over here. So many people call me Sky, and I'm just like, I'm not Sky. Stop saying that. I want to develop into a better person. I'm not sure.
But yeah, these were all, like, so you had to like hunt down the keys at Toys R Us.
Oh,
which again,
God.
more reasons. A big reason why Power Rangers has floundered is because there is no Toys R Us. I'm well aware that that's part of it.
Yo, you got Wes over here just like showing his entire butt. Like, I'm sorry. I know it's funny, but geez, I don't mean to fall over laughing.
They said Lamau.
They were not fans of that. Zach was
Like,
like,
look at
nope.
this. Look at this. Boop. Boop.
Put
Face up, ass
down.
front.
Put your
Man,
skirt
Wes
down,
is
young
just...
man.
Wes is feeling himself today.
In Japan, you actually had to go find the keys individually, like either through candy machines or whatever. But in America, they sold them in sets of 3. But what would make the most sense, typically a team has 6 Rangers. You get 1 pack of 3 and another pack of 3. No, you had to hunt down various things. They'd give you different multicolors of the Rangers, either in glitter or translucent or see-through, like all kinds of things. So yeah, I spent like $400 on the Ranger keys. That's another reason why I'm single. But moving on.
Who's this? Who you got there, Logan?
This right here is
Magna Defender.
Magna Defender. Just, I want his power.
Candy.
Candy.
I also,
Forbidden candy.
so I want to show you this fun little thing that Barney and I found. I think I took him to Toy Vault.
So
and
random.
Did you know that Power Rangers and Thomas the Tank Engine had a crossover?
No.
Let me tell you how.
For real.
You can get your own Thomas the Tank Engine mini trains in the form of Power Rangers
May I?
characters. Yes, please.
Hang on, let me zoom in on that as well.
Wait, who is...
You have Finster, you have a Putty, you have Zed, you have Rita.
Okay, I was
Alpha.
literally looking at this. I'm like, what Ranger is this?
Then
Where's-
you have White. So it's not a complete one. You actually had to get the rest separate. They're on the back here as well. Blue, black, pink, and Goldar.
I literally was about to be like, where are half these people? And be like, Blue just didn't make the cut. Kimberly, no. You know what I mean? I'm like, wow, great job, guys.
So this is such a strange thing that exists. And we saw it, and we kind of just knew we had to have it.
My favorite thing, you can't see this right here, but there's the Green Ranger, and there's the White Ranger. So Tommy gets 2. We
course.
couldn't make room for Billy or Kimberly.
Nope.
But Tommy gets 2.
I honestly wouldn't have gotten it if not for the green. I typically, like, as far as Mighty Morphin stuff goes, like, I will buy it for green.
Yeah.
Not just because of, like, Tommy necessarily, because
Yeah.
I do understand that Tommy is a lot in the... He's everywhere in the franchise. I just love my Green Rangers. And I just love six Rangers in general, but especially, like, as a Green Ranger. I kind of wish that Power Rangers / Super Sentai would mix up the 6 Ranger formula of not having gold and silver kind of every
Yeah.
other year. Like, have another Red Ranger as your 6th Ranger. Like, how fire is that?
Where's purple? You have colors.
They've done orange in one of the non-adapted Power Ranger
Yeah,
seasons for
I
the last
remember
10 years. And then they have done purple, but also one of those seasons has like 12 Rangers on it. So every color is
Give
going
me
to be
a
represented.
brown ranger.
And then, what'd you say?
The
Give me
Brown
a
Ranger.
brown ranger.
Hi, my power is shit.
I've been good. I've only said damn.
Sometimes you got to pick your moments, right?
I know, but
So,
I'm just saying.
one more thing that you may have seen in your time. I
How
have
old do you think I
here
am?
an official
Oh my God, the fan club?
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers fan club box.
Is the VHS in it?
Yes, it is. I
Are we
spent
gonna
$1 on
watch that?
this.
You spent $1 on
I
this?
spent $1
I
on it.
cannot. I'm more shocked that not that it's complete, but that cost you $1.
Wait,
cost
how-
me-
what's on the VHS?
So
I had
on the
that video.
VHS tape, The official fan club video of all the all 6 Rangers welcoming you to the official fan club.
Hold up, I gotta zoom again. we can't be missing these details.
Are we going to zoom in? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
Cool.
That's amazing.
I'll read you on back what it says. Congratulations, Junior Power Ranger. All of the Power Rangers have made this special video just for you. They take you behind the scenes as you've never seen them before. So sit back and enjoy a more phenomenal good time.
My favorite part about that video will always be when they're talking to Zach, and instead of like Tommy's all martial arts, Jason's all martial arts, Kimberly's singing, like they're selling their careers outside of acting, and they ask Zach, what's your favorite ice cream? And he's like, cookies and cream. And he's just dancing it out, just like.
That's brilliant.
Why didn't they just ask me to dance, goddammit?
What else do you do, Zach? Like, you're my favorite Ranger, and all of a sudden, he's just dancing and talking about his ice cream. Like,
it also comes with autographed images of the Rangers. There's all 6.
What is it?
Wow.
Walter Jones. I thought that said Skate Jones. I was just like...
Skate Jones.
He's skating.
I don't know how well you can see this
Famously
one because of the color, but...
Oh, Trini.
Trini, rest in peace to a Trang. Obviously, I love...
It's John Cena.
Yeah. Well done. And then, yeah.
Wait,
Red.
we already did the Black Ranger.
What else do we have in this little box here? I have, full picture.
The good old days when everyone got along.
I know.
We need to put that up somewhere. That's cool.
Who's Rebecca? You know what?
Oh, yeah, this is the previous owner of the box, Rebecca Powers. But it's the official certificate.
Shout out Rebecca. Thanks for
Thank you, Rebecca.
Thanks for the fan club.
Thank you for selling this so I could get it for $1 from somebody else.
With
So
your
the
name
viewers
on
still
it.
watching and the viewers who are going to tune in, if you're just starting to tune in, Merrick is an identity thief.
He's called Rebecca now, dude.
Post your social security numbers in the chat now. We'll be sure to get back to you in a timely fashion.
If you want to DM me your credit card information along with your 5-digit zip code, I would really appreciate that as well.
you can just put them
Struggling
right.
actor problems?
You can just put them right in the chat.
My life.
We have static clings of 3 of the Rangers.
Cool.
And there were a couple of other things, too. Not nearly as cool, but... the best thing.
Are those Monopoly money?
No, it's not Monopoly, but it's Power Dollars.
Power dollars.
Power dollars.
Redeemable only towards official Power Rangers fan club merchandise. Although, admittedly, I'm not sure what else is there because I got everything else I need here. So
You should literally email or call Hasbro, take a picture of these, and just be like, I have these. What can I buy?
can I collect?
You should just send them to them and be like, please send merch. Here,
yeah.
See attached my Power dollars.
They just send you a putty action figure. Here you go, kid. Get out of here. No, I already have one.
I already have 3.
They send a team of putties to your house to beat you up.
Give us all your money.
Season's greetings.
Oh wait.
Give us all your Power dollars. You're like
I thought you were
take
mad
my
because I
wallet.
touched the mic. I thought you were going to stop punching me because I touched the mic. I
Oh
was
no,
like, man,
no!
Merrick's running a tight
I'm
ship
punching
here.
you because I'm a threatening putty patroller.
Hey, it happens.
Whoa. Welcome to the end of the Knights of the Dirty Table video that you just watched. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already done so, make sure you subscribe to our channel, like our video, share with all your friends, and catch our live stream every Friday live at 5, only on the Zenden Studios Twitch channel. I gotta go wander off into space. See ya! Whoa! Whoa!